All right, welcome to another episode of the Talk Podcast, where I talk to my buddies about memories or whatever the hell we want to talk about. So, this is going to be the first episode where we don't talk about memories. We are going to, for the first time ever, delve into conspiracy theories. This is something that I've thought about for a little bit. I have Alex and Thomas back again, so we can just describe and discuss all the weird shit that's going on in the world that we don't know about.
For sure.
So,
Yes.
I've thought about doing it for a while. I just haven't had the right people. Now I have the right people, so let's get after it then. So who would like to start with their first
Give me a second.
theory?
Let's see. Alex, you want to go first? Hello?
Where is he at?
Is he still there?
I don't know. I guess he can start while he's gone.
Anyway. Yeah, I'll start.
Go for it.
So, let's start with the Dead Sea Scrolls, okay? Now, the Dead Sea Scrolls were a group of... Actually, hold on. Is he here? Is he here? Because I don't want to start without him.
I'll cut it in editing or something.
Oh, cut it? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you just want to wait until he gets here?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll just edit it all out later.
All right, cool.
I wonder what did he say he was doing?
I don't know.
All right, I'm back.
Oh, there you are.
There he is.
Yeah.
You got him. All right. Now we can continue with the Dead Sea Scrolls, Thomas.
Oh.
Okay. All right. So, in the 40s, there was a goat shepherd that was, looking for goats, and he found this cave, and he threw a rock into the cave, and when he did, he heard like a shattering, like a pottery, and so he goes in and he finds all these jars and shit filled with scrolls in some ancient language, right? I forget which language it was, but later on they had people study these scrolls, and there's a guy named John Marco Allegro who went and he read these scrolls for 14 years, and he came to the conclusion that most of the Bible was a complete misunderstanding, and that his interpretation, and he wrote all this in a book, and he said his interpretation of what the Bible was that Christianity was this. What am I trying to say here? Christianity was this. It was actually this. Fuck! What am I trying to say? Shit. Damn.
Come on, you freaking
sucker! I totally lost my train of thought. He believed that Christianity was actually just a bunch of rituals which involved taking a bunch of like mushrooms and doing these fertility rituals, in where they would and they wrote all this like in the Bible, and the Bible is like the entire story of, at least of the New Testament, is actually just like a metaphor for all these like rituals that they would do, and they did this to hide to pass on the information of these rituals that they would do, and they did it to hide it from the Romans, but they did that so they could also like pass it down, but it was the true intentions were like lost in translation over the years. So that's what they think that the New Testament was. But
well, you see, Thomas, here's the downside to what you were speaking about. Mm-hmm. All that you heard is a psychological operation planned to decrease Christianity in the United States.
Okay.
You see now. The Chinese.
Oh my god.
Uh-oh.
Oh no. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Jeez.
They own Hollywood. They own our politicians. They own nearly everything in the United States, as well as the
Wow.
Russians, like Yuri Bezmenov, right, Thomas?
Right. True.
Let me
Yeah.
let me piggyback that
Oh,
for
I
a
didn't write.
second.
I didn't write about him.
China made everything we grew up with.
That too. That's another
That's
thing.
true.
Okay, why does it keep saying someone's joining and leaving?
I don't know.
Do you hear that?
No.
No.
What the hell's wrong with? Okay. China owns everything, especially Hollywood. They helped produce this bull crap. Oh, Christianity's not real. Bullshit. You hear me? Oh, that's a dollar in the jar.
Oh,
Okay.
whoa.
Oh, dude.
Gosh darn it.
You're filling up the dang swear jar.
Gosh.
The damn swear jar.
What? You did it again.
Oh. All right, we're not doing. All right, we're talking about conspiracies here.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
no swear jar. No swear jar. We can cuss that freely.
There's no bullshit in this.
Yes.
Come on.
All those freaking sucking Chinese people stealing our Hollywood. Not a racist way, but in a political and psychological operation way.
Right.
Okay, but they've been in this plan to demoralize and denationalize our country for years, 20, 30, multiple decades. They've been in this plan. And
You
look at what's
definitely
happening.
see
Look at society. Look at society. Everyone's becoming feminized. Everyone's denationalized. No one cares about this country anymore. Everyone's becoming atheists. They're not caring about religion. Okay? You can see it. It's slowly falling apart. And it's because these damn Chinese and these damn Russians. Okay? And
Okay. Let me ask you something. Let me ask you something, Thomas.
Yeah.
Regardless of all that crazy shit that Alex just spewed out, what do you believe? Do you believe that that's factual or that's fiction?
Well, he brought up someone that I originally told him about. It was a guy named Yuri Bezmenov, who was a KGB. He worked with psyops back during the Cold War.
KGB
And-
agent.
Yeah, KGB agent. And he defected during the Cold War, and he came to America, and he told the Americans all these KGB secrets and shit. And so again, something that he specialized in was psyops. And there was this huge, multiple decade long plan that they started where they would plant seeds into they would infiltrate like American media and slowly start to demoralize and denationalize the country. And you'll notice that that's a big deal. That's a big deal, but nobody talks about it, right? Nobody
Oh.
talks
They own
about
Hollywood.
it. You look the guy up. You find next to nothing on it. You have to actually have to go out of your way to look the guy up because nobody talks about it. And it's kind of weird when you think about that. Hey, nobody talks about this Yuri Bezmenov guy who was a legitimate KGB agent, and he came to America and he told everyone, "Hey guys, the Russians are doing all this fuck shit to your head." Frick crap.
No, we're allowed to cuss now. We're allowed to cuss now.
Yeah,
Oh, we're
this
allowed
is
to
a
cuss?
serious
Okay.
podcast.
Okay. The Russians are doing all this fuck shit to your populace, and you can definitely see the effects that it's had on society today. So I think that a lot of the shit that he's saying is it has a lot of validity to it, but
Verifiable
again,
proof. I'm 100% right. All right, let's continue.
All right.
So
okay, go ahead.
So
They
Alex,
don't-
you're up next. What do you got?
they got all this crap on us. They're controlling our medias. They're controlling all this crap specifically so they could dominate us on the economic front and, if need be, the war front. If you look strategically speaking at China's military, they have been slowly building up over time and have nearly mirrored our United States military styles. They have their own Marines, they have their own Navy, they have their own regimental styles from building base up. They have the same tactics. They have the same type of armor. All this stuff. They keep building it up,
That's
and it's
because
just like the
China's good at
U.S.
stealing shit. China's good at stealing shit. They're
They
really good at that.
Yes, they are. They are good at that. You know why? Because there's freaking spies all throughout the country as well.
From
Okay,
other countries, maybe.
Russia. Yeah, of course we have spies in other countries. We're the U.S. government.
Straight up.
Yeah.
We are the U.S.
We invented that shit.
Hell yes, we did. America.
Yeah.
Fuck
Fuck yeah.
that's something that pisses me off because you talk to people about oh the Chinese are invading our infrastructure, right? Like people are like, well, why don't the Americans do that?
Okay, listen to this. Listen to
Yeah,
this.
they do.
Oh yeah, of course we do. Listen to this. I found it the other day. Here it says. Of course, I'm not going to find it now that I've said something. It's probably because they took it down.
God damn it, they're onto us already. We're 10 minutes in. Shit.
They're already
Chinese
on
are
to
already
us.
on us.
My fucking 25 subscriber
Okay,
channel is
listen.
on fire.
Listen, the FBI has determined that cell towers outfitted with equipment from the Chinese tech giant Huawei is capable of capturing and disrupting highly restricted Defense Department communications, including those of U.S. Strategic Command, which oversees the country's nuclear weapons program, according to CNN.
Whoa, that's a trusted source right there.
I mean, about Chinese infiltration, yeah, I wouldn't mind. That right there says that some of the stuff that they were sending us to put in our cell towers has Chinese software within it that can interrupt our communications with each other in strategic communications.
So truth is, they found all my porn.
They probably already know exactly all that information. They know
They're
it.
gonna look at my
They know
naked
it.
foot porn. Fuck.
I can't hide now.
I mean, NSA already knew about that too. So you got Chinese watching you do it. You got the Americans watching you do it. You probably got the Russians. Oh, everybody's watching you do it, John. It's all good.
Oops.
Oops.
Okay. Okay. So, I'm going to present my only conspiracy theory because I couldn't come up with anything else. And it's the most convincing one of them all. So, this one is pretty much well known, and that is the moon landing. Many people say that it's fake for two main reasons. So, in space, there is no wind. No wind. It is just empty space. There's nothing. So, if you rewatch the moon landing, you can see the flag wave like there was a wind gust. How would that make sense? Many people say that it was filmed in a studio.
Yeah, there wouldn't be wind in a studio either, though.
Maybe they're trying to make it seem like that. But another thing is that this was done in the 60s. How the hell did they have the technology? How the hell did they have the idea of not only showing the broadcast to everybody in the country, but around the world? From space. They would need like super technology to be able to do that. I don't know.
The government usually waits like 40 to 60 years to drop the tech they have. They wait a while. They had designs for the Oculus Rift back in I think the 60s. I'm not kidding. That's 100%
Yeah,
true.
no facts. Did you know that recently they released this they released information on this device that can actually identify people by their heartbeats. It's a legitimate thing that the U.S. military has in their arsenal. There's also there's a thing that can detect people with satellite, or it's like a laser. It's like a laser that can detect people in buildings and shit and tell you exactly how many people are in what building and where they are, the exact locations and all that. So yeah, dude, there's so much technology that the U.S. government is hiding from you that you just have no idea about. And not just the U.S. government, every government.
We'll probably never find out about it in our lifetime.
Oh, I mean, we probably will. But
maybe until
it's
we're
gonna take a while.
Fucking old and in a nursing home.
Yeah.
I don't know. It really is intriguing to me how that flag is somehow blowing in space. That's been my number one.
Here's the thing: they have faked other space shit before. They have definitely faked other space shit. They faked photographs. Oh God, which one was it? They faked an image from before Apollo 11. They faked some images from one of the other space projects. But so they faked shit before.
Example: the Loch Ness monster.
That's just stupid.
That could be
It's
fake.
probably
That could
it's probably
be a
just like a
different
log.
animal.
It's probably just bullshit.
It's probably just like a log or something.
I like to think about it this way. What is the motive? You know, things have motive to them. Things don't have motive to them. The U.S. government had motives to
That's the thing.
make the moon landing. So I guess it's feasible, but I mean, does it really matter? They won the race.
Yeah,
America,
that's the thing.
we won.
I think that
Even if we cheated, screw it. Who cares?
I think that's probably one of the main reasons why that whole space race started, was because different countries were trying to compete for space exploration, I guess.
Well,
And
primarily Russia and
just
the
Russia
United
and the
States,
US.
but the Cold War
Just
is
advanced freaking nuke tech.
It's just a dick measuring contest to see who can discover technology that can blow each other up first. Like,
Who's got the biggest dick in nuclear energy?
Yes, exactly.
And it's all just curious. I, for one, happen to not believe in that the moon landing was fake, but there's interesting evidence to prove otherwise.
there is. I've definitely seen, like, of course, like the flag thing and the footprint.
Yeah.
You know, you look at, there's the one where it's like the footprint on the pictures of the footprint on the moon are different from what the actual print of the shoe that the astronauts wore.
Yeah.
They're both different, but I mean, who knows?
And that's the whole point of this. Like, we don't know any of this, if any of this is true, or if it'll ever be revealed. But, all we can do is talk about it.
Right.
So, let's get into some bullshit. When people say the Earth is flat.
Oh, yeah, it's stupid. It doesn't make much sense.
Yeah, dude, you can literally see the... Okay, so I was about to tell you this before the podcast started, but, yeah, I remember when I was, like, a teenager, I went with my family to this place called Carter Mountain, all right? Carter Mountain is a huge apple orchard where you go and, obviously pick apples and shit, and it's on top of a mountain, and there's a massive, like, cliff off the side of the mountain where you can see everything below the mountain, and it's such a... It was beautiful, all right? But it was you're so high up and you can see so far out that you can actually see where the human eye can see no more, and you can actually see like the slight curvature to the earth just by looking out from somewhere really high up. Like, you can see it. I've seen it myself. You can see the curvature.
I think you
Plus,
can
there's
even
videos of people that have like these cameras that spin around. And they hold them like 50 feet up in the air and they spin it around, and you can see the curvature of the Earth. So, I mean,
that's just render distance.
Plus, we have astronauts in space,
Render distance. But like,
I'm just kidding.
Something that's like an easy
Chunks just
example.
haven't loaded in.
Yeah, your brain can't process that far. That's the only difference.
Chunks.
Something that's like easily an example is like if you're flying in a plane or you're flying in a jet. Like, if you look out the window, there is like a curve. I don't know if it's just a window of the jet or if it's legit Earth's curve, but when you're so high up, I don't know. It's about the same thing as your cliff example. If you're from a high spot, and you can see a curve.
Plus, I mean, we've got astronauts in space. Like, we've got
and they could tell it's
we
severe.
got pictures of it. Like, I don't understand the whole thing with that. People,
but you really can't see, because the argument that people make where it's like oh yeah, we got pictures of it. I mean, we also have pictures of the moon landing, but people use those pictures to say that people say those pictures of the moon landing is fake. So like, who's to say that like the pictures of the Earth aren't fake? Like, you'll never know until you actually get shuttled out into space, and see for yourself that the Earth actually isn't flat.
Well, have you seen all those videos of the flat earthers actually trying to prove themselves correct and accidentally proving themselves incorrect?
No, I've never
Like,
seen it, but I just
like,
don't doubt they don't. I don't
like
doubt
they
exist.
this one dude he built like a wood cutout with a circle about like a 5 foot off the ground or whatever, and then he went like 2 miles and had the exact same build just the other way. So he put a flashlight up at where the circle is, and if the Earth is flat, you're going to see it exactly at that other hole. But no, it didn't work. He had to put it higher, and then you saw it through the hole because the Earth is curved. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, another argument that they use is that like, if you reach the end of the Earth, you just fall. Like if you go from one side of the Earth to the other, their argument is that you fall off. Where do you fall off to? Like what?
You cross the
Yeah.
Pacific Ocean, you get to fucking Asia.
have you heard that that the Earth is actually a hollowed ball, and the inside is actually the universe?
Whoa.
Yeah, you see, it doesn't matter because it's bull. It's just so.
So
Like, so what? Is it okay, Ant?
if the universe is inside Earth, then what the hell are the other planets for?
They're inside the Earth too. Don't question it. Just accept it.
They're the second universe.
Dude, the Earth looks like a donut. If you want to get technical, okay.
Dude, Earth is shaped like a mighty bean. Fuck off.
Another argument that's used in the flat Earth
Velociraptor.
is like when you look at a map of Earth, it's flat, but like that's the only way you're gonna see all of Earth without a globe. You need a globe.
There's just a flat Earth around there. Look, flat.
It's
Flat
on
map.
a piece of paper.
Pulls out a
Therefore,
flat.
it's fucking true. It's paper, you
Google.
dumb shit.
He goes
Look at
on
this.
Google and looks
Flat.
at a picture of a map. Flat.
There's definitely people out there like that.
Those kind of people need to go somewhere. Need to get a job. Need to get some sex. Need something.
To get some sex.
Yeah.
Get some pussy. Get some money.
Get some bitches.
Get some bitches on people.
Okay, so here's another one.
Alright, go this.
What?
Just said throw it at us. Hit us with it. Let's see it.
Okay, well I'll let you say it because I'm gonna hold that one off for a little bit. So you go ahead and say one of yours that you wrote down.
Oh no, I was telling you just lay it on us.
Oh, okay. So this is my last one, and then I'll shut up. So, have y'all ever heard of the whole reptilian people theory?
No, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course I have.
What are your thoughts on that?
Stupid.
I don't even know an argument to it. I just know from hearing it,
Me
it's
neither.
fucking stupid. But I have no basis for it. I have nothing to further talk about with that other than that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Mark Zuckerberg looks kind of weird, but
Yeah, he does. He looks like a gecko or something.
no, he doesn't look like. Well, maybe. I mean, the way his eyes look, he's like staring into my soul.
Something like that. Yeah, that's weird. What are your thoughts on reptilian people, Alex?
Repite, por favor.
Thoughts on reptilians?
Reptilians? Alright, my thoughts on reptilians, they go drastically, okay? If you want to get technical, let's just say you get a big one of those big drills, you just drill into the earth. You're gonna find some damn caves, okay? And in those caves, what are gonna be there? Reptilian people. Why? Because that's where they live.
Hell, how can we explain the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? They live in sewers. What the fuck is going there?
The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you can explain them by government radiation and experiments. They were working with chimeras over in China, so I imagine
true.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles came from those guys. I mean, you got what Dolly the sheep, who's a clone. So I mean, they could definitely do stuff like that. It makes sense why they can make humanoid turtles, but why they use ninja stars and samurai swords, I'm not sure, man.
I can't take this shit seriously. Okay, Thomas, you read one
Hold
of
on, give me
yours
a second.
off.
Dude, I'd be spitting straight facts.
You be spitting straight facts.
Yeah, I am on a podcast right now.
Yeah, you damn right. You're on the Talk podcast.
I'm on the Talk podcast right now. Look.
There it is. See, that's the only way around it. Oh my god. Okay.
For some reason, Thomas is muted though. He probably had to go eat an apple or something.
You probably had to take a shit. All right, so here's one that I'm gonna spit.
It's not Thomas's podcast. It's my friend John's podcast.
Damn right, it's my podcast.
Sorry, I'm back.
Okay. All right, you read off one of yours. I'll hold on to mine for a sec.
You guys ever heard of the Money Pit?
The Money Pit?
Yeah.
Nah.
So, basically, in the 1700s, 1795 to be precise, there was a kid who was digging around on an island called Oak Island in Nova Scotia. And he's digging around, and he finds this floor, wooden floor, right? And he keeps digging, and every 10 feet there's another floor. And while he's digging, he's finding artifacts like coins and pieces of metal and parts of tools and stuff. And I think I want to say about 90 feet down, or a certain amount of feet down, they found this stone tablet that basically said, I would say it was like 50 or so feet below, there's treasure. And so they keep digging, and they have people that come in later and, they have people that come in later and try to excavate the site. And there was this one knucklehead that comes in, and he's like, all right, well, fuck it, we're just going to keep going. And he hits a booby trap, and the booby trap is a tunnel that when you hit a certain depth of the money pit, there's a separate hole in a nearby swamp called 10X that when you hit that certain floor, the entire shaft will fill up with water and completely flood the entire money pit. So there've been people over the years that have gone and tried to excavate this pit, and eventually they went, they dated some of this stuff, and they said, okay, this is really weird, but they have a bunch of the artifacts are from different time periods, and they've come down to two ideas of what the treasure is at the bottom. They either think that it's Captain Kidd's treasure, or they think it's whatever the hell came out of King Solomon's temple, and it's holy artifacts like the Ark of the Covenant or something. And they think the Knights Templar brought it to Nova Scotia. So that's the story of the Money Pit, and it still hasn't been excavated to this day because it's fucking flooded.
I wonder why it's flooded.
I mean, it's booby trapped. Some guy activated the booby trap, and the entire shaft filled with water, and now they're fucked.
So we'll never know.
Yeah, but they found bodies and stuff. They found bodies of slaves that they assumed that dug this hole. This hole is hundreds of feet deep, and they found others. They found tools. I think they have a show on the History Channel called The Curse of Oak Island, and there's these two brothers that run like an oil company, and they're of course they're filthy rich, and they've always been obsessed with the story, and they went and on one of the recent seasons they actually found like a wooden box or like a chest or something down there. They don't know what's in it, but they sent down like a camera or something, and they found this chest down there. But over the years, they've like discovered artifacts and stuff, and the artifacts that they found either tell us that okay, this is either pirate treasure or this is Knights Templar treasure. So, yeah. That's another one of mine. But
Curse of Oak Island.
That actually
Curse of Oak
sounds
Island.
pretty legit.
it's a really cool. It's really cool. And I really wish that like there was just a way that they could just be like, all right, fuck it, we're gonna go in with some big ass tools and we're gonna dig and see what the fuck is the bottom of this hole. Here's they it's
I've
much
tried
as
that a
much
couple
as
times.
they have, but like they have.
Dude, they never
that's the
find
reason-
anything on that place, dude. From what it's
Yeah,
always
on the
switching
show?
around, like, oh, it's this, oh, it's that, oh, it's this, oh, it's that, oh, it's
on the
this.
show
They have
or
no
like
fucking-
Yeah, on the
so-
show. Yeah, me and my family
okay,
stopped
yeah, but-
watching it like years ago because they would just never find anything every season.
Yeah, but like it's a TV show. Like they have to do shit like that. Like they have to be goofy and shit.
They have to
can't just-
fabricate some of it.
Here's a real conspiracy theory, okay? All the money that they're gaming, all the treasure, is all within the TV show, and there's nothing there.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's fake. The TV show just made it seem real.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
Right.
because that's
In
what
all
they
honesty,
need.
I do think that's kind of legit. It does have a decent story to that.
What the whole money thing?
Yeah, money pit.
Yeah.
I could actually believe that. This is
Yeah,
this
story
is
of
just
the
a
money pit.
bullshit one, but they say
It's just a psyop.
that the reason SpongeBob is a thing is because when they did the nuclear tests back in the 50s, one of the bombs detonated in the water, and the radiation went all the way down and created Bikini Bottom. Made these animals fucking real life talking things. It was all from the fucking nuclear
SpongeBob's
test.
real, man. SpongeBob's real.
SpongeBob is real. He's out there. He's in the water. He's in Bikini Bottom.
He's crying for help.
We have to. He's crying for help because he's stuck in a loop with a TV show.
Yeah, give him some
Imagine every
iodine
day-
pills.
Imagine every day is a SpongeBob rerun.
Oh my god! Yeah, we just gotta look for the Bikini Atoll now. That's apparently the island in which SpongeBob is set in. So
Alright, I have... Okay, so, like I said, I was just going to let it flow. While we've been talking, I've actually made a list of stuff that I can be, like... We could be talking for hours on this stuff, I'm not even kidding.
All right, lay it on us.
But since you just said SpongeBob, I want to hit you with a quick one.
okay.
The Japanese Unit 731 during World War II. They looked like minions.
Wait, I gotta look this up. Wait, what's it called?
No.
What's it called?
Japanese experiment camp. Or it could have been Nazis actually. I might be a little bit mixed up on this one. Should be used. Yeah, look at this. It might have been the Nazis. I might be getting it slightly mixed up.
Did you
But
get that in the Discord?
I'm sending it in the group Snapchat.
Fair enough. Oh my god! No way!
Banana.
I have.
Oh, banana!
I have to get my camera
My
in focus.
God,
Come
banana.
on. Fuck. Bullshit. I can't get it there. Somewhat.
Interesting though, man.
Oh,
Like, holy shit, the
man.
Nazis did some crazy shit.
That's fucking
Yeah.
wild.
Alright, so I have two separate things we can get you on. One's a little bit quicker than the other, but the other one's pretty daggone cool. Here, let's start with the Strauss-Howe theory. I think that's what it's called. Something like that.
Okay.
So, let's do some math here. I know, y'all are going to get mad. Let's do some math here. This theory is about human civilization cycles, which have been talked about through multiple cultures since the dawn of time. You know, pretty sure the Mayans talked about humans being kind of like cyclical, at least society being cyclical.
Right.
Multiple civilizations have thought this, and you know they're kind of right. So let's do some math. At least with the United States of America. All right. When was the Revolutionary War start or end? Whatever. When did it start?
When did it start?
1776 was when it started. That was
Yes.
that was the Declaration of Independence. But
Yes.
Yep.
1776. Add 80 years.
1776. Fuck, dude, you're making me do-
1856.
Okay, so add
Civil War.
4 years to that. Boom, Civil War. Add 80 years to that.
So
Dude, I know what you're getting at. Every 80 years, there's a major
1940.
war.
Yeah, World War II.
Every 80 years, there's a fucking war.
What's
How
80
do you
years
explain
after?
World War One? How do you explain World War One? How do you explain
Okay.
the Gulf War?
Yeah,
huh?
I'm saying within the U.S. I'm saying within the U.S. World War One was not very major within the U.S. We weren't super
I was
involved.
joking.
That's fair
I was
enough.
Yeah,
joking.
I was about to say, buddy.
That's fair enough. So
80 years after 1940.
2020.
No, it's that. Oh yeah, facts. That's 2020.
And what's China doing with this?
COVID.
Building up their military power.
And who just sent 100,000 troops to help Putin in Ukraine?
Oh man.
China.
No, it was North Korea. North
Oh.
Korea just sent 100,000 workers up to Ukraine to help Russia.
Oh.
Yeah, but like, what are they gonna do? North Korea
But
sucks.
that doesn't add up because it's 2022 and we're not involved in the war.
Okay, but 1776 wasn't a perfect 80. 1939, 1860? They're not perfect 80s, but they're around 80 years. Because humans are cyclical. It's 80 years is the average human life. Or about the average human life.
That depends on the country.
Society is cyclical.
Because our
American society has had a perfect, massive war every 80 years.
World War III
Okay.
confirmed.
Yes, 80 years. Okay, now here's a cooler one. That one's pretty cool, the 80-year cycle.
Yeah, that's pretty.
It's just really, it's just a lot of like thinking about it. The Silurian hypothesis. Originally named after, I believe, civilization from Doctor Who, it is the theory that there were previous super advanced human civilizations way back in time, like hundreds of thousands of years ago, but they are so far underground, or we can barely tell that they were there, so we don't know about them.
You're talking like like so like Atlantis and that kind of
Kind
shit.
of like Atlantis and stuff.
Let me spit
But-
some shit. Hold on, you can finish what you're
Put some shit.
Okay. You can see this with the pyramids of Giza. Or just the pyramids of Egypt, you know what I'm saying?
That's true, dude.
They are hyper advanced for their time.
And that's
or what
another
our
conspiracy theory.
Oh yeah, of course. I'm not saying this is
Yeah,
aliens. I'm just saying this is super advanced people. I'm not saying anything to do with aliens.
Yeah.
I mean, think about that. Like how, like okay, each one of those stones is like how heavy? They're over like they're like over how many tons?
Like
They're-
like 40 tons, I think some of them.
How
Yeah,
people in
and then
that
there's
time period did that.
2.5 million.
Yeah.
of them.
And we are
2.5
so
million.
smart today that we still don't know how they did it.
We don't know.
They looked at they were looking at erosion on what's that head? The Sphinx. They were looking at erosion on the Sphinx, and the erosion dates them back to the numbers are going to be completely wrong here. Okay, because I haven't seen this in a while. So I'm just doing a thrown out number, rough guesstimate, but it's around something like this, okay?
Isn't it like 30,000 years?
Yes. The erosion on it that tells that it was like what? Like 2,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago or something. But in reality of that area and stuff like that, the true erosion of it says it's about 30 to 40,000 years ago. Which at this time, we had no proof of advanced human civilizations or anything. So,
Right.
it does not add up at all. Also, all of the current hieroglyphics all over Egypt and all that stuff were not made by the people who made them, the pyramids.
Right.
They were made by a guy after, who pretty much kept like tagging everything with his name on it, which is kind of interesting to look at. Also, there's some really weird things with the pyramids. One fact is that there are multiple different stones that were not like fully completed, or they're like scrapped out, and it looks like they were a big saw blade that was cutting them.
Wow.
Okay.
They
I
had
hate
no
to- I hate
tools.
to-
at this time that were anything like a saw blade. This saw blade, the markings on it would show a saw blade about like 10 feet in diameter, 15 feet in the diameter, something that we can only make today. We could not make back then. But there are markings on multiple stones all throughout pyramids in Egypt that are just like this. Also, very strangely, the Pyramid of Giza itself is a perfect. Oh my god, I don't remember the numbers. It's like a perfect one in. It's one of the consistent numbers, like with sacred geometry. It's like a 1 in like 643, or like 1 in 64th, the northern hemisphere of the globe. It's a perfect 1 in 64th. It's like a perfect ratio gap. I don't remember the exact number. You have to look it up. But it's like a perfect ratio number comparatively. Also, if you look at the coordinate... Here, John, I have a little test for you. Is John there? Yeah.
Yeah.
Look up the speed of light.
Let me see. It's, oh my god, that's a big number. Alright, so from what it says here, it's 299,792,458 meters per second.
Okay. Now, look at the coordinate of the Pyramid of Giza.
I'm a volunteer.
You're home. Give me a second.
Alright, so we got 29.9792 north, and then 31.1342 east.
You see a...
Are you just talking about longitude? Are you just talking about longitude, latitude? 29 point. 29
the north.
7648. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the speed of light. Is the coordinate for the Pyramid of Giza.
Oh, well, I fucking got it wrong then. Somehow, some way. But that's also interesting. I've never known how the hell people that long ago built that. They couldn't have.
Yeah, nobody does. That's why there's ancient civilizations that are hyper advanced.
Okay,
like, there's a bunch of talk about Atlantis, stuff like that. There's a bunch of different things.
Yeah.
That say that humans used to be super advanced. Also, let's just look at what people say aliens are, right? People think aliens one thing or another. Look at human evolution, okay? If we went from monkeys to where we are now, take that gap and put it in front of us. What would we look if we continued in that amount? We would look like aliens. Boom. If we had hyper advanced civilizations in the past, they could have already been able to access like hyper fast space travel, and they could already be out there. It literally could be us that are the aliens.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
Okay, so this is not a conspiracy theory, but this is like an interesting fact.
Well, hold that thought. I just want to. I just want to make an announcement real quick, and then you'll get right back to it. Everybody has 2 theories left, so think of 2 really good ones. So Thomas's is your one of 2.
Okay.
So go for it.
Well, this isn't really a theory, but I just wanted to talk about this. The hieroglyphics. We all know that the hieroglyphics, they were actually like mandated by the Egyptian government that they all had to like follow a certain sort of pattern.
Yeah.
And that's because they found out why. And it's because they like looked at like the chambers of these of the artists who would like do the hieroglyphics, and they looked at what they were drawing in their quarters, and it was all like porn. They'd all draw porn and shit. So like when they were like drawing like hieroglyphics and shit and all this like all this art on like all the Japanese what am I talking about? The Egyptian architecture. They when they were first like starting out, they just like draw everything just pornographic, like titties and shit, like all over everything. So they were like, okay, no, now we gotta step in, all right? It's against the law to draw porn, so that's why it's all like very uniform. So anyway,
That's an interesting one.
that's not even a conspiracy day. It's just a fun fact.
One Egypt fact of the day.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
fun Egypt
I know
fact.
more
that
about
they
Egypt than I've
drop
ever
one.
learned in my entire life in this 45-minute discussion.
Well, yeah, that's because like when when we're in school, they don't teach us about other countries. They teach us about like American history and shit. It's like,
Yeah,
well,
yeah. You only take like
there's so
world
much
history.
more history out there.
You only take world history like once. You never know anything else. So,
Right.
I'm at this point not doing conspiracy theories. I'm just doing like theories of like shows and movies because the SpongeBob one had me interested. So,
Red skin theory. That's another one.
The what now?
I thought you were going to talk about skin theory.
No. So I'm gonna. Have y'all seen the movie Up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So spoilers ahead. The fucking movie came out a decade ago. If you haven't seen it, there's a problem. So, spoilers. You know how in the beginning his wife dies, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So, the theory states that the fat, chubby Asian kid. So
Yeah.
No, Russell.
yeah, Russell. So, the theory states that Russell is Carl's guardian angel, and by him getting to Swallow Falls or whatever the hell it was called, I can't remember. By him getting to that place, Russell was helping him guide. He was helping him guide through the afterlife because he was trying to get him to Ellie.
Oh, that's cool.
Ooh,
That's cool. I like that.
ooh! I thought that one was interesting, and that makes you think.
Here's a TV show one. I'm not considering that one of my two theories, though. It's just something cool to think about.
Okay.
Neverland is purgatory.
Okay.
All right, Tom. All right. What's your?
But
Huh?
I'll talk about a theory, the TV show theory.
Okay. No, is this
Skin
your
theory. It's a SpongeBob theory.
Okay. I like it.
There's a really good YouTube video. It's like an hour long or some shit, or maybe even longer. But it talks about how there's an absurd number of comedic jokes in SpongeBob where a character will go ahead and like unzip themselves to show that there's somebody else inside of a suit, or like they'll take off like pieces of their body or something, and it's such like a specific thing that's not like falls outside of just cartoon humor, but it's such a specific thing that like these characters will like unzip themselves, and they'll like unzip themselves like in bodysuits or something, or they'll like unzip. Or there's other people hiding in other like fish and stuff, right? Or they'll take off their arms and to reveal that they actually have other fish arms or some junk like that. It's really interesting, but yeah, there's a ridiculous number of instances in which that happens.
That is very curious.
ooh, I have one. Kind of
Alright.
similar.
This is your one of two.
Yes. I don't know if I want to use this as one of the two, but I guess I can. Uncanny Valley.
Oh yeah.
I've never heard of
Uncanny
that one.
Valley.
So, humans are scared of things that look close to human but not fully human. So, if something looks nothing like human, okay, was whatever. If something looks partially like a human, alright, sure, whatever. Like toys, look partially human. It doesn't really matter. We're not scared of them. Or like animation movies, stuff like that. But if they look too human, but just not enough, it gets creepy.
Yeah, there was that issue. So you see that most of the time with like those like the tech company AI bots and stuff.
Yeah, they always have a big problem. Yeah,
But
all of these bots everyone doesn't like because they kind of look human, but they're not fully. They all look creepy looking because they have like facial features and they move their face, but not in a human way. So it freaks people out. Also, what is it called? The Polar Express. Like a lot of people think the characters in that, since they're like close to human but not fully human, or not really cartoonish, they're creepy. Like I don't know. I
Those are
personally think
those are more cartoonish.
yeah, they are
I
more
don't really
cartoonish,
get
but a lot of
from
people think that
that.
like that's just as an example. Okay, why is this? Well, what evolutionary factor made it so humans have uncanny valley? This is the question, and it doesn't make sense. Most fears humans have make sense. You know, fear of heights. You know, prevent yourself from falling to death. Fear of the dark. I can't see in the dark. Probably a good reason to not want to go there.
That's
Stuff like
just the
that.
fear of the unknown, though.
Yeah,
That's just
exactly.
more part of the fear of the unknown.
Yes. What is uncanny valley? Why are we afraid of things that look human but are not fully human? This brings up the possibility of things like skinwalkers, wendigos,
Oh yeah.
different monsters, or you could say from like folklore, like Indian folklore and stuff, that would mimic other animals. They could mimic humans. They, of course, like they said in the folklore, they mimicked human voices to try to lure humans so they could eat them. Is the uncanny valley proof that wendigos or skinwalkers were real?
I don't know.
My brain's
know
getting
about that.
fried, dude.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know about it either, but
No,
I'm
it's
just
a
saying it because we're throwing freaking conspiracy theories out there.
I know.
it's a little far fetched.
Bro.
A little bit far fetched, yeah.
It's interesting.
But it isn't. Each one of these have been interesting.
Dude, everything is far fetched that we've been talking. What the?
Yeah, we're talking about
That's the whole
conspiracy
point
theories.
of conspiracy theories. They're out there, but they have some sort of way to have you thinking about it. Each one of them. So
That was the Uncanny Valley. That was a big issue with like some of those new Star Wars movies that they like CGI and like in Rogue One they were talking about like how Grand Moff Tarkin and Princess Leia when they like CGI'd them in they looked off and they didn't like nobody liked that. There's a bunch of people that are like, oh, it looks creepy. Same thing with Luke Skywalker in
And
the
dolls.
Mandalorian.
yeah.
Huh?
And dolls. People don't like dolls because they look too human, but not.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So okay, I'm using my last one. This is another movie theory. So I'm
Okay.
sure y'all are familiar with the movie Cars.
Oh, dude, that's such a good movie. I actually love Cars.
So before I explain this theory, I want you guys to answer a question for me. So, how come in these three movies, the only living beings that are in them are cars? Answer that question before I say it.
I don't know. Who
I don't know.
You don't know. I don't know either. Why would there be a world full of cars? Well, there was an
How do you think a car is born?
according to this theory, this is kind of crazy. But,
It came out of the cookie.
so apparently the cars started a rebellion against their owners, the humans. And the
Right.
reason why Cars is only Cars and no other beings is because they succeeded in their mission to destroy all humans.
Yeah, they don't have limbs. They can't hold guns.
They ran them all over, I guess.
How are they going to go where there isn't road?
they,
How do they birth more cars?
they completed a car invasion.
The most interesting thing about this is how cars are born and if they come out the cookie.
Look, I don't think that's accurate.
Right. Alex, you got any more before I talked about Notre Dame?
Before yeah, what's your last one, Alex?
Nah. You can go, Thomas. And I'll try to figure out my last one.
So,
This is your last one, Thomas.
So recently, when the Notre Dame Cathedral was on fire, they came in. They came in very recently, and they went and they were doing like repairs. And while they were doing the repairs, they found a tomb underneath one of the towers in Notre Dame. and they're doing all this digging, and surrounding there's bodies and shit. But there's also like pieces of furniture, and then there's like religious artifacts, like like totems of Jesus and stuff. And then they also found a singular lead coffin, and they haven't opened the coffin because there's a bunch of religious people out there that are like, oh, what if you open this and it releases the spirits of the damned or some shit. But they ended up drilling a hole into the coffin and putting a camera inside to see what's in it, and there is in fact a body in it. And the body is filled. The coffin is filled with straw for the body to lay on, but also there's some like other artifacts inside of it. And they dated the coffin to about 400 to 500 years ago. However, there are a lot of people out there that think this could be the body of Jesus Christ, and if it is, it would disprove Christianity. Now, do I think it is? No, but there are theories that people are coming up with that they think, oh, this tomb this coffin that they found, that this is the body of Jesus.
Jesus
and
Christ.
it would mean that Christianity would disprove the story of Jesus, because at the end he ascended into heaven, which would mean that he never actually ascended into heaven. But who knows?
Mind fucked. Shit. Alex, you're up. Last one, make it worth it.
Now, I want to do one that I have a lot of content in. Like, I know a lot of content about.
Or psyops.
I could do something like that revolves around, like, CIA not being very cool.
You can talk about how Mark Zuckerberg
CIA
might be a robot.
It doesn't have much content to it.
Mark Zuckerberg,
or I could go into,
CIA
like,
robot.
like the Anunnaki or something like that.
The what?
The Anunnaki. I don't know. I don't know super large amount of content about that. So I don't know if I want to waste my last one with that one. Unless you just want to give me two of them, John. How much time we got?
Technically, we got about 3 minutes, but we'll just
You said
go
30 minutes? You said 30 minutes? Okay, we can
30 minutes,
we can deal with that. I can do each one 15 minutes. 15 minutes per? Okay, I can do that. I can get through
We
one.
basically have as much time as it takes for you to finish your theory. Because I'm not going to cut it off in 3 minutes.
Okay.
Just pick one thing.
I think I'll go with the government being not very cool sometimes.
Right, cool. Go ahead.
At least the
Talk about
CIA.
it too much.
Yeah. So CIA, not really our friend from what I've seen. Let's start with, I guess, MK Ultra to start with. You know, of course, that's a big old conspiracy theory and a half, where they were drugging people. If I'm not mistaken, they were like taking people. They were
Homeless veterans.
Yeah, that kind of thing. They weren't they putting psychedelics in the water stream too? I might have heard that somewhere. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, but they
were doing bad things.
The main idea was that they were like giving like psychedelics and LSD to all these homeless veterans and shit.
Yeah.
They'd pick up off the streets and stuff and be like, "Hey, you want to make some money? So we're gonna pump a bunch of LSD into you."
That's true. But they were doing all this in the single goal to figure out mind control. Okay, yeah, I can make this a lot longer than I thought I originally could. Okay,
go ahead.
Mind control is going to come up later. So, first off, CIA is not very cool, and also your channel. This is probably going to get demonetized.
I think every podcast that I've done so far is going to get demonetized. So.
Well, now it definitely is.
Well, I don't think you can even monetize. You only have like 25 subscribers, right?
I know. It doesn't fucking matter anyway. Oh my god.
Man, I should have definitely done some research before this, because I can tell some things, but I'm not sure enough to say them on. Alright, look up, or here's one, Operation Northwoods, I think it is, where the CIA during like Cuba and the Cold War, they actually sent up a idea to the president asking if they could do a operation where they were attacking U.S. citizens and hijacking U.S. planes. It's still a CIA ops doing it in order to stage a false flag against Cuba so they could do a ground invasion. Yeah, proposed false flag. Yeah, Operation Northwoods. So that's one of these things that they try to do. MK Ultra is one of them. There's a million of them, and of course I can't think of them now. Most of the recent mass shootings or attempted mass shootings, there were feds behind them that were kind of grooming the kids to do it. Usually those kids were semi-schizophrenic or on the verge of doing something already, and the feds found them and then do it. That reminded me of another one. Taking guns. There is... Oh yeah, it's terrible.
Brutal.
The Las Vegas shooting. Look into the Las Vegas shooting. It's completely an operation, probably by the CIA. Not 100% sure. Not going to blame them for that. Probably an operation by the CIA in order to try to take guns away, because you can control a population easier without guns. If you look into the Las Vegas shooting, multiple people say that it was like a constant stream of fire. They say, it was a constant stream of fire, blah, blah, blah. Later on, they come to find out that the guy shot himself in the head. This dude in particular that committed the shooting had no previous record, had no previous signs of mental health issues, nothing really wrong with him from his history, other than he was actually pretty successful, if I'm not mistaken. He was pretty successful, and he kind of just started fading away from his family, and then commits some massive mass shooting like this. So in this situation, I'm all over the place here, and I apologize for that, but I'm trying to get through it. This dude commits suicide, right?
Yep.
An hour later, the SWAT team and are able to get into the room. Okay, he killed himself. Boom. They say that they found about 30 AR-15s and 20 pistols and stuff like that, which is just so inaccurate. It doesn't work like that. You don't bring a bunch of rifles up there. No, you bring a bunch of ammo up there. It just doesn't make much sense. Also, if it was a constant stream of fire, it couldn't have been AR-15s doing it. It had to be something like a belt fed, like a Golf or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right, because you have to reload. You have to reload an AR-15.
Yeah, exactly. You have to reload an AR-15, or
unless you had a ridiculously extended mag, which.
Yeah, exactly. But they didn't really say anything about that. So there was an hour gap between this dude committing suicide and the SWAT team being able to get into the room.
Okay. You good?
We lose him.
I think we lost him. He got a little fuzzy there at the end.
No way, we just lost him.
He got a little fuzzy there at the end.
Oh, it was just getting good. Oh man, I'm gonna have to do another fucking cut.
Did it really just cut out on me?
It did cut out on you.
It did.
It could have been my mic being nearly low.
The constant fire. You're talking about the constant fire.
What was? Did I explain all the multiple AR-15s and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So it had to be a belt fed. It had to be like a 240 or something like that, or a saw. It had to be a belt fed or heavy magazines. It was a requirement.
Well,
there was,
they a constant stream of fire. Did they say how long it lasted?
Not exactly. I would have to look into it more. But this guy, no motive at all, was a successful man, had a family. Doesn't make much sense. Then, an hour between him committing suicide and the SWAT team getting in the room, a large amount of time gap, they get in there. There's just so many holes in this thing, right? There's also more holes, but I can't remember them now, of course, because that's just how my brain's working. It was probably an operation, okay? And it was probably to take away guns, or AR-15s, because there's so many AR-15s there. It's just bullshit. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. You have to find motive in a lot of this stuff, and this guy just didn't have motive, and there was no real reason for it. So that's one of them.
Fuming when they found out about ghost guns.
Oh yeah, definitely.
They're untraceable. Damn it!
There's also, remember there was planned. There was supposed to be a planned operation for these white supremacists or whatever to steal the Michigan governor. You hear about that? Kill, hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we hear you. We hear you.
I just can't believe.
Okay. Oh, dude, no,
Like,
it's gonna keep going a lot longer.
There's also like Martin Cabela talking about
Okay,
Army
okay,
Rangers.
shut up. He is schizophrenic.
He's Army Rangers will keep having my wife in exchange for information.
Okay.
Oh my
But
God.
out of the group of people that were planning on stealing Michigan governor, again, numbers are probably off. It was probably like 4 or 5 guys. 3 of those guys were feds trying to infiltrate this group of radical extremists. And one of them was the ringleader of this radical terrorist plot anyway. Was a fed.
Okay.
The infiltrators were the ones planning the operation. That's why you never heard anything from it afterwards, because it was the feds doing it. It's all bull. This happens everywhere. Damn, this happens consistently. I'm pretty sure there is a current lawsuit on these. Apparently, there's some feds that were coming up to some schizophrenic kid, and the parents were like, "You need to stop," and they actually filed a lawsuit on it somewhere along there. I should have definitely done research to be able to get like all these facts out and be able to quote this stuff exactly, but Fed's bad, especially CIA. They do bad stuff. But look at the media. But tell me a good thing the CIA has done.
I got nothing.
Infiltrated Chinese and Russian infrastructure. That's good.
Okay.
That's good.
That's something.
good.
Well, I guess. But I mean, you know. What about you, John? Can you think of anything good they've done?
Nah.
Okay, but look at how the media portrays them.
Oh shit! That was pretty cool.
I really can't think of shit. I really can't.
Yeah. No, but media always portrays the CIA as being like the super good guys doing all this good stuff.
But there's a hidden, ugly truth behind it all.
Yeah, it's because they're evil and terrible and evil.
They're a bunch of freaking suckers, dude.
They are a bunch of freaking suckers. Okay, so now back on my previous point, right?
Right.
MK Ultra, they're doing operations to try to figure out how to successfully
I see where you're going with this.
successfully brainwash people.
Oh
Do
boy.
you think they brainwashed these
They
shooters?
figured out. Oh no, yeah, of course they did that. But they also figured out most of these shooters are like schizophrenic, and it's really easy to manipulate schizophrenics into doing stuff like that. Because they're schizophrenic. It's just
Right.
psychology. But on the topic of brainwashing, they figured out while doing MK Ultra that using psychedelics or like chemical compounds was not the best way to successfully move a public in the direction you wanted, right? They figured out that it was through media that you do it. Look up Operation Mockingbird.
Operation Mockingbird. Right.
Operation Mockingbird. A large-scale program of the U.S. CIA that began early Cold War attempted to manipulate domestic American news media organizations for propaganda purposes.
Whoa.
By the CIA, they were infiltrating U.S. news media to edit how the public sees things.
Fake news is real.
It's almost like that's what the Chinese and the Russians do.
Almost like China owns the CIA.
China owns everything. We're back to
China owns everything. We're back to square one. No, that was kind of a joke. I'm just saying that a lot of bad factors at play. But they figured out that that's how you successfully manipulate a public is through news media. And if you look, a lot of guys on, or a lot of like the anchors on like CNN and stuff like that actually have a CIA or FBI background,
That's
which
crazy.
also proves
That-
into Operation Mockingbird
That
is still being in effect.
is fucking wild.
Everyone's in a psyop at all times.
So fake news is real.
Everything's a psyop.
Kind of,
Everything is a damn psyop.
Everything's a damn psyop. In conclusion,
God damn it!
Come on, please, man.
I've been lied to.
5G, man.
5G. Oh my gosh.
The
I
amount
don't
of
know.
things,
I don't know that one.
Lee would be over here talking about, oh, the 5G.
the amount of things that the three of us have learned in this hour has me thinking a whole new perspective. And that is
Good.
to never ever see it one way. Look at it different ways, because you never know, really, if all of these theories are accurate or if all of these theories are true. These are just speculations.
Well, a bunch of the CIA stuff you can like actually like
that's probably
look
true.
into because of like the CIA like declassified CIA documents.
That's
I remember another one.
Oh, you're gonna talk about the gateway process?
Operation. Oh my god! Operation Gateway by the CIA.
Yeah.
No. We're already an hour deep. We're already an hour deep. Oh man.
Can we just like explain what the gateway process is real quick?
Yeah,
just
explain
like
it really quick.
The gist of it is something that the CIA would do. They would go and like it was experiments with like the how the brain worked after death and shit, and they would talk about like the process of going like through dimensions and shit through through like what's the word I'm looking for?
I think you're slightly off,
Am I
Thomas.
off?
Gateway Project, CIA. Give me a second. I forgot the exact words. The Gateway Project. Yeah, okay. Altering consciousness and escaping from the physical realm. Through like super hyper focus and stuff like that, and they were able to go into like a. Dude, why am I okay? What's that call you can do in Skyrim that makes it so nobody can hurt you, but you can like fly around?
Oh, I think you know what you're talking about.
I love how we're using
become
Skyrim,
intangible
the basis theory
or
off
something
of.
there.
No, it's not. It's just the same word. I forgot what it's called.
Oh,
Uh,
don't look at me. I never played
No.
Skyrim.
is it
You
like
never played
intangible or something?
No.
No, but you could like float around, but you couldn't get hurt.
CIA declassified a set of documents called the Gateway Process that provides a scientific framework for expanding consciousness, out-of-body experience, and other altered states. of mind.
Ethereal.
Ethereal. Become
Ethereal.
Yeah,
Yes.
That's what yeah.
So they were able to alter their consciousness to become ethereal and travel the globe. What's his name? Russell Targ. Russell Targ was one of the main guys doing it.
Okay.
Is that right? Targ. Yes. Remote viewing. So remote viewing is what. Dude, we are so all over the place on this one. All right.
We really are.
Coined term remote viewing for his practice of seeking impressions about distant or unseen targets using parapsychology means. This dude also worked for the CIA. Basically, they were able to successfully identify a Russian submarine halfway across the Earth just using their brain.
Oh my
No
God,
technology.
I just thought of another one. The fucking
Who's
the
ethereal?
Nikola Tesla is an alien thing.
Dude, he probably is.
Okay.
That would make sense.
There's a CIA document talking about like eyewitness reports of his neighbors seeing like UFOs and shit coming from. And before he died, he was working on like this like defense mechanism that like would protect the United States from any sort of air to ground attack.
Oh my god. Okay.
Okay, we gotta stop. We have to
Okay.
Dude, you know, Nikola Tesla made like bug inventions when he was a kid, like cars for bugs and stuff.
Okay, I gotta cut this
Yeah.
shit. I gotta cut this shit.
Hey, you gotta call this like conspiracy theory rough draft or something
I
like
don't
that.
even know what the fuck to call this. I mean, this shit was all over the place. So we gotta keep
It
it
was all over
real
the place.
there. But
Rough draft.
I think we all brought something very interesting to the table. I am now going to be tracked by the FBI.
Oh
In
yeah.
conclusion,
After
everything
this
is a
is
psyop
posted.
and the CIA sucks.
They are
Yes.
now on to me.
CIA's behind
And
that.
China sucks. The CIA sucks and China sucks. And Russia sucks. They're all a bunch of freaking suckers.
They're all a
Freaking
bunch
suckers.
of freaking suckers.
Oh my
dude.
god, that's great. All right, well, this was pretty fun. Thank y'all for coming again for a round.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
God, thanks for having us.
Yeah. Any closing
Thank you for having me.
thoughts?
Everything's a psyop. Believe nothing.
Nothing's real.
The media is lying to you.
Fuck the media.
Hillary Clinton is a reptile.
Okay.
Joe Biden's a frog. All right, y'all. I'll catch you later.
All right,
Peace.
peace out.